My mill invited everyone to Hawaii, except me, the secret she was hiding. It all started with a birthday invitation, or rather, the deliberate lack of onion ended with a family implosion never could have predicted. I should have seen it coming, I guess. The subtle digs, the backhanded compliments, the constant feeling being othered. But even I wasn't prepared for the depths of her cruelty. My mother-in-law invited everyone to a big family gathering. She told me I wasn't really part of the family. Let me explain. Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm 27 years old. I'm married to Hugo, who is honestly the most wonderful person I've ever met. He's kind, he's funny, and he makes me feel truly good about myself every single day. But there's a catch. His mom, Maria, isn't exactly my biggest fan. Honestly, she's had it in for me since the moment we met. A simmering resentment I could feel radiating off her like heat from a furnace. I get it, I guess. Hugo is her precious son, her golden boy, and she doesn't want him to get hurt. She's trying to look out for him, in her own twisted way, but sometimes she just goes too far, crossing lines with a chilling nonchalance. She's the kind of person who does little things that bother you on purpose, making you feel like you're the one being unreasonable, like you're overreacting. We all have someone like that in our lives, don't we? Unfortunately for me, that someone is my mother-in-law. But I'm a bit different. I'm the kind of person who speaks up when something isn't right, who doesn't back down from a fight. I think that's why Hugo likes me. He's more quiet and gentle, a true peacemaker. Opposites attract, they say, and that rings so true for us. I've studied a bit of psychology, so I can usually spot a passive-aggressive jab a mile away. I think our strong personalities clash, which might be why she said something utterly unforgivable the first time we met. Jenny, shouldn't you cut down on your food? The air in the room instantly thickened, the cheerful chatter dying in our throats. Everyone at the table fell silent, shocked by the unexpected comment. The table included me, my then boyfriend Hugo, my future father-in-law Carl, and, of course, Maria, Hugo's mother, the architect of this calculated assault. Hugo, bless his heart, reacted immediately, his face flushed with anger and embarrassment. Mom, seriously, that's a terrible thing to say. Jenny can eat whatever she likes. He was trying to defend me, but the damage was already done. Maria, ever the master manipulator, quickly backtracked, a saccharine sweet smile plastered on her face. Honey, I didn't mean to upset you. I just want what's best for you. You know, I've noticed you've gained some weight. Hugo showed me your old photos, and you looked so much better back then. I mean, not that you don't look good now, but I'm just trying to help. The help dripped with venom, each word a tiny pinprick, not wanting to make a scene, especially since it was my first time meeting the family, and I genuinely liked Hugo. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Even though I was mortified and seething with irritation, I forced a polite smile and thanked her for her advice. Unfortunately, situations like that kept happening more and more frequently as we spent more time together. I naively hoped the teasing would stop once Maria realized I was good for her son, that I made him happy. But it only got worse, escalating from casual jabs to outright insults. On the bright side, I was getting along incredibly well with my father-in-law, Carl, who was unfailingly kind and supportive. While I grew closer to everyone else in Hugo's family, Maria seemed to be the only one who actively disliked me, and it was hard to figure out why. What I had done to deserve her icy disdain. I even met Jack, Hugo's childhood friend, who was practically part of the family, woven into the fabric of their lives. Despite everyone else being so welcoming, Maria remained the glaring exception. I felt grateful for the love and support I received from the rest of Hugo's family, but her animosity cast a long, dark shadow. However, things took an even darker turn on my wedding day, a day that should have been filled with joy and celebration. Maria seemed determined to make trouble, to undermine me at every turn, like some kind of evil wedding gremlin. No, I want my hair like this, not that. It's all wrong, that dress, really. Well, thanks for your suggestion, Maria. You look really unattractive. The bridal party gasped. Guests exchanged uncomfortable glances. But I wasn't surprised. I had sadly grown used to Maria's cruel comments, the relentless stream of negativity. Seeing the horrified reactions, she tried to backtrack, but it was too late. She's a bright young woman. Even though I looked better at her age, she's beautiful in her own way. The damage was done, the poison injected. My father-in-law managed to cut off Maria's harshest comments that day, but the hurt lingered, a dull ache that wouldn't fade. It wasn't like me to stay quiet and let things go, but I so desperately wanted to make things work with Hugo's family. This constant negativity, however, was slowly wearing me down, eroding my spirit. Fast forward 3 years to today. We were at Hugo's parents' house for dinner, including Jack. She wanted to share something with us, and a knot of dread twisted in my stomach. I suspected it wasn't just a random dinner plan, that something was brewing beneath the surface, something unpleasant. Turns out, I was right. It started off pleasantly enough. It was a nice surprise. But things took a sharp turn when my mother-in-law started making an announcement, her eyes gleaming with a strange, unsettling like, "Hey everyone, I have something important to share." She had everyone's attention, a captive audience, as she dramatically pulled out a piece of paper. "Since my birthday is coming up, I wanted to let you all know about my special plans. I've decided we're going to Hawaii." She showed us the paper, confirming the trip, waving it around like a trophy. "Wow, that sounds amazing," Kyle exclaimed, always eager to please. "That's fantastic, Mom," Hugo added, his face lighting up. "Jenny, Hawaii sounds like a dream," Jack chimed in, ever the supportive friend. "Oh, wow, this is incredible news. I'm thrilled beyond words." "Thank you so much, Mom," Hugo gushed, beaming at his mother. Then Maria's eyes met mine, and her smile hardened. "Actually, you're not coming." The words landed like a slap. The cheerful atmosphere shattered, replaced by a stunned silence. "Wait, what?" I stammered, my heart pounding in my chest. "Honey, what do you mean? That wasn't the plan," Hugo protested, his brow furrowed with confusion. "I later found out my ticket was already purchased. Then she just cancelled it. Why does she dislike me so much? Mom, what's going on?" Hugo demanded, his voice rising. Jack and I stayed silent as the tension escalated, harsh words flying back and forth between mother and son. Eventually, Maria reluctantly spoke up after being pressed for an explanation, the truth finally bubbling to the surface like poison from a wound. "I'll tell you why I decided Jenny shouldn't come to this family event," she announced, her voice cold and brittle. "As I'm getting older, I want to spend my time with the people I care about most. Unfortunately, Jenny isn't on that list." The words were like a punch to the gut, each syllable laced with venom. "Seriously, Mom," Hugo snapped, his face a mask of fury. "There's nothing wrong with Jenny. Don't disrespect her like that. I'm just saying, well, Jenny isn't technically family since she's not related by blood. By that logic, Jack shouldn't go either, right? He's not technically family, as you're saying. But we all know that's ridiculous. He's part of the family. And since Hugo and Jenny got married, she's family too. Well, Jack is different. He's our precious angel. He's always been here, but Jenny hasn't. That's why I'm not comfortable with her coming on the trip. It's my birthday. That's why I'm not comfortable with her coming on the trip. It's my birthday. Come on, Jenny, we're leaving now." When I firmly said no, Hugo had been trying to hide a smile. But when I spoke up, her smile vanished. "Maria, you've made it obvious from the start that you don't like me," I said, my voice trembling slightly, but filled with newfound resolve. "I've put up with your behavior for 3 years. Do you really think we don't notice how you act? You're a narcissist. Watch your tone, young lady. You're in my house," she shrieked, her face contorted with rage. "And I won't be staying much longer," I retorted, my voice hardening. "Actually, I'm leaving right now. But before I go, I need to say something." I looked at my husband, whose eyes were filled with anger as he stared at his mother. "Sweetheart, I love you more than anything. And I've tried to make this work for so long. But it's clear now that your mother will never accept me into this family. No matter what I do, she'll always have a problem with me. You should go on this trip. It's important, and you can't miss it. Despite how difficult your mother can be, she's still your mother, and you love her. So, you should go. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay." I turned back to Maria, my gaze unwavering. "And as for you, I'm sorry to say, but I love your son, and I'm not going anywhere. You might try to push me away, but I'll always be here, even when you're in Hawaii. I play you'll still be thinking about me, because let's be real, I think you're obsessed with me. How dare you? I should slap you right now." She sputtered, her face turning purple. "I'm not finished," I continued, my voice gaining strength. "You are obsessed with me. You're obsessed with tearing me down, and I can't understand why, when I've only shown you kindness and patience, even when you didn't deserve it. But enough is enough. If you don't want me to go to Hawaii with you, if you don't think I'm part of the family, fine. I'll always be here. As long as I'm alive, I'll be here for Hugo, but never for you." At that moment, she stood there with her mouth hanging open, seemingly at a loss for words. For once, I'd managed to silence her, to break through her carefully constructed facade. I said my goodbyes to the rest of the family, gave my husband a kiss on the cheek, and headed towards the door. "Let me drive you home, at least. I can't let you take a cab," Hugo pleaded, his voice laced with concern. "Please don't worry about me, honey. I love you, and thank you for loving me, but I'll be fine. You have a trip to plan. All right, if you say you'll be okay, I'll trust you. Oh, don't forget your purse." My purse, I'd left it in the kitchen. Later on, Maria went into the kitchen, maybe to take a moment after the intense situation, after being confronted like that. I needed a breather, too. "What do you want?" she snapped, her voice still trembling with anger. "Don't worry about me, honey. I'm just here to get my things." "Well, hurry up. I want you out of my house." "I can't believe you said those things to me," she muttered, shaking her head. I rolled my eyes at her dramatics and reached for my purse. Next to it, I saw a folded piece of paper. I assumed it was the trip itinerary, feeling a bit bitter about not going. Curiosity got the better of me, so I grabbed it and started reading. "Dearest Jack, you've always been like a son to me, and I love you dearly. Oh, it's a letter to Jack. That's a bit unexpected, but I suppose it's nice in a twisted way. As I continued reading, my curiosity morphed into something darker, something closer to dread. The love and care you've shown me over the years will never be forgotten. I hate to admit it, but I feel like the love we once shared is fading. Wait, what? She loves Jack more than Hugo? That doesn't make sense. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The words swimming before my eyes. There was so much to process, so many hidden layers to this bizarre family drama. Although it wasn't right for me to read the letter, I'm almost grateful I did. Trying to figure out what to do, how to handle this bombshell, it suddenly hit me. Everyone who needed to know about this letter was in the other room, sitting on a powder keg of secrets and unspoken resentments. I read the letter again, just to confirm what I had seen, to make sure I wasn't imagining things. Yet, it was the same shocking content, the same twisted declaration of affection. I walked back into the dining room where only 3 pairs of eyes met mine. Jenny, I'm so sorry for what Maria is putting you through. Don't worry, you're coming to Hawaii with us. She's just going through a rough patch, but I'll talk to her and make her change her mind, Carl said, his voice full of concern. I don't know what's gotten into her lately, but I'll fix it, Hugo said. Carl, please don't worry about me. I'm fine. Actually, I found something interesting that I need to share with everyone, I said, holding a letter up. Hugo and Jack looked concerned, their faces etched with worry. Hugo might have thought I was about to ask for a divorce, that this was the final straw. Whenever I complained about his mother, he'd always agree, lamenting her behavior and wondering how I put up with it. I always told him it was because I loved him too much to leave and that I'd go through anything for him. I noticed Maria wasn't here. Where is she? She needs to be part of this, too. I mentioned earlier, she seemed a bit off after your confrontation, Carl said. She said she got a headache and wanted to rest upstairs. She won't be down for a while. You know how she is about her beauty sleep. This is really important. She needs to be here. I insisted, my voice firm. It's okay, Jenny, you can tell us, and we'll let her know when she wakes up, Carl said, trying to placate me. I hesitated. I think you should just tell us. It's okay, and you know Hugo struggles with anxiety. It's not good to keep him waiting. That was true. Hugo's anxiety was noticeable, and I didn't want to add to it. Okay, fine, I relented. I'll show you what I found when I was in the kitchen getting ready to leave. It's something important that you all need to know about. I pulled out the paper and began to read. It says, Dearest Jack, you've always been like a son to me, and I love you dearly. The love and care you've shown me won't be forgotten. But even when it comes to my son Hugo, I feel like our love isn't the same. What does this mean? As I continued reading, the words sent shock waves through the room, shattering the already fragile peace. Hugo, things between us just aren't the same anymore, and I think it's because of Jenny. He doesn't love me anymore, and so I don't think I love him either. But you're my son and I love you. I decided to update my will so that you inherit everything, not Hugo. I know it might hurt, but I don't care anymore. That Jenny girl is to blame. She's poisoned my feelings for him. I hope you understand. I didn't want to tell you in person because I couldn't bear to see the rejection on your face. I know you love Hugo like a brother, and you might not approve, but I don't care. Everything, the money, a house, the cars, even my businesses, they're all yours. If you want to talk about it, call me. I love you forever. Your second mom. When I finished reading, the room was filled with a mix of emotions. Carl looked like he might cry, his face crumpled with disappointment. Hugo looked furious, like he was ready to explode, a volcano of rage about to erupt. I can't believe she said all that. Is she serious? She cut me out of her will just because of Jenny. She's gone mad. Hugo roared, his voice shaking with fury. I am speechless. This is too much. I'm done with her toxic behavior, Kyle exclaimed, his voice trembling with anger. What do we do now? Jack asked, his face pale with shock. At that moment, an idea struck me, a way to finally turn the tables on Maria, to make her face the consequences of her actions. 1 week passed, and it was time for the planned Hawaii trip. Maria woke up to find a note from her husband on her bedside table. Good morning, beautiful. We decided to let you sleep in a bit longer. Don't worry, your bags are all packed. Just meet us at the airport. Maria quickly got ready and headed to the airport, searching anxiously for her family members. She tried calling them, but nobody picked up, assuming they were already on the plane. She endured the 12-hour flight, her excitement building with each passing mile. Hello, Carl. Where are you guys? I woke up late and so you know. I got to the airport and tried calling, but no one answered. I assumed you had already boarded, but now we're in Hawaii. How exciting. Where are you? Let's meet up and start the fun, Maria said over the phone. That won't be happening, Carl responded firmly. Maria, what do you mean? Where are you? I'm at home. We're all at home. Say hi, everyone. Carl showed Maria on his phone that they were all sitting at the dining table where they received the upsetting news a week ago, a scene she would never forget. What do you mean? Why are you at home? You see, Maria, Jenny shared some eye-opening information with us last week. Since then, We've decided we'd rather spend our time in Florida with her than anywhere else with you. Carl responded. Maria gasped. Do you think I wouldn't find out? Find out what? You were really planning to cut me out of the wall. Mom, how did you even find out about that? Hugo asked. That girl you despise, Jenny. I don't know what you're talking about, Maria. Jack, you have to believe me. I didn't do anything like that, Maria pleaded. We all read the letter, Maria. It's over. Carl said, but I didn't do anything. Jenny is lying, Maria shouted. Oh really? You're so pathetic. It's nauseating. We all know the truth. Hugo responded. Thank goodness I found that letter. I chimed in. Hugo, Carl please, Maria cried. No Maria, enough. You're done. You don't get to say anything. Your hatred blinded you. And now you have to face the consequences of being alone on your birthday because of your actions. Use this time to reflect. Carl responded. But I'll be alone. It won't be fun, Maria pleaded. Maybe people would want to hang out with you if you weren't so unpleasant. Enjoy? Carl responded before ending the call. I couldn't help but start laughing. Hugo joined in, and soon we were all laughing at the absurdity of it all. Maria's shocked expression was priceless. Her face went pale, and I could see her embarrassment. We laughed at the dining table, relieved that the truth was out. Maria spent her vacation alone, desperately calling Carl to join her to avoid cancelling expensive reservations. However, Carl refused. Maria's attitude changed drastically, becoming apologetic and frantic, surprising everyone. Hugo made it clear that Maria needed a major attitude adjustment to remain in his life, or he'd leave her. He warned that any disrespect would result in him cutting ties. Jack realized he needed to stop enabling Maria's behavior by being overly nice, and she risked losing the most important people in her life. Her relationships with them became rocky, and she faced the challenge of change. I told Maria I needed time to forgive her, refusing to intervene on her behalf. Despite her apologies, Maria still tries to mend a broken relationship she caused. I hope she learned her lesson from this experience. So, Reddit, after hearing the whole story, from the initial jabs to the explosive reveal of the letter and the final act of leaving Maria alone in Hawaii, do you think I handled the situation correctly? Should I have done something differently? Was I too harsh on Maria, or did she deserve the consequences she faced? I'm genuinely curious to hear your opinions and perspectives on this whole messy family drama.